Wash, O God, our sons and daughters, where your cleansing waters flow. Number them among your people. Blessed is Christ, blessed long ago. Weave them garments bright and sparkling, compass them with love and light. Fill, anoint them, send your spirit, holy dove and heart's delight. We who bring them long for nurture, by your milk may we be fed. Let us join your feast, partaking cup of blessing, living bread. God, renew us, guide our footsteps, free from sin and all its snares. One with Christ in living, dying, by your Spirit, children, heirs. Oh, how deep your holy wisdom! Imagine all your ways. To your name be glory, honor. With our eyes we worship, praise. We your people stand before you, water washed and spirit born. By your grace, our lives we offer, recreate us, God, transform.
Hello, and welcome to this month's Coffee and Hymns, the first of the year. Happy New Year. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a good Christmas season, because that is officially over now that we're past Epiphany. And I hope your services went well yesterday, or 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Today's Tuesday. I'm going to spend this morning's Coffee and Hymns talking about the one and only Ruth Duck, who sadly passed away a week and a half ago, just before the new year. She had been struggling with dementia for quite some time. And so people who knew her knew this was coming at some point, didn't know when, and she had already stopped appearing at various places where we would normally see her, like the North American Academy of Liturgy, which just met, or the Hymn Society last summer, and places like that. She had stopped teaching for a while as well. But if you don't know who Ruth Duck was, let me tell you a little bit about her. She was born actually in DC in 1947, and she moved to Memphis, which is where she learned about the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. She went to Memphis, the Southwestern at Memphis University, which is now Rhodes College, in 1969. Did an MDiv from Chicago Theological Seminary in 1973, and then a Master of Arts from Notre Dame in 1987, and then did her doctoral work at Boston University School of Theology in 1989. And her academic work primarily focused on liturgy, worship, and the Trinitarian baptismal formula. She was an ordained minister in the United Church of Christ. She was a life member of the Hymn Society of the United States and Canada and a fellow, which is our highest honor. She received the highest honor, the Barakah Award from the North American Academy of Liturgy. And the thing that I will remember most about Ruth Duck is at Hymn Society gatherings, she was, well, she was a lot of things. But the memory I have is Urban Doxology was doing a hymn festival in St. Louis. This was maybe 6-7 years ago. And I was really nervous as a leader how it was going to be received, because the style of music that Urban Doxology does and the style of worship they lead was very outside of the box for the typical thing you would find at the Hymn Society. And so they were very purposefully invited because we were trying to expand our experiences and who we were learning from and with. And of course, they did a great job. But I was nervous about how it would be received. And about 2 or 3 songs in, I looked over, and dancing in the aisle, literally dancing in the aisle. She had gotten out of her seat, moved to the aisle, and was just dancing along, was Ruth Duck. And I think that's how I'll always remember her, as someone who was not only prophetic herself, but was also an encourager of others who were taking risks, encouraging others who were doing a great job, or who were trying their best, and who were leading in places that may not be very comfortable. And Ruth would be there by their side, dancing and singing. So that's how I remember her. That opening hymn was Wash, O God, Our Sons and Daughters, which is found in most mainline hymnals that have come out over the last 20 or so years. It was written back in 1989, so it's had plenty of time to get into most of the denominational hymnals and other main hymnals. Wonderful baptismal hymn. The next hymn we're going to listen to is Arise, Your Light Has Come. I use this on Sunday at my church. It's a wonderful Epiphany text, or time after Epiphany. But it would also work well. It's a great sending hymn or gathering hymn. It deals a lot with the Spirit, and kind of it's a call to action, right? So it would work for Pentecost. It would work for Easter. I mean, it would work in a lot of situations. It would work on a normal Sunday. So this is Arise, Your Light Has Come. And the tune is Festal Song. That was a recording from Park Central Presbyterian Church, and was a wonderful rendition. And there's a great benediction that comes after that as well. So if you Google that hymn, there's a wonderful benediction that the pastor leads. It's connected to that text and idea. So good on them. Love that hymn. It's short. I like to include like an interlude or like a really great like introduction or something to kind of extend it, just because the tune's so short and it's only 4 stanzas, but it's a good one. I love the arise, your light has come, the mountains burst in song, rise up like eagles on the wing, God's power will make us strong. Love it. It's like it's a benediction in and of itself. God's power will make us strong. Now go. Sending. Oh goodness. It's hard to narrow it down. But the next one I wanted to share with you, I was looking through all of the hymns. My goodness. And if you aren't familiar with Ruth, or even if you are, it's worth it just to sit in hymnary.org and pull up her name and read through the list of hymns and songs that she has given us, has gifted us, and to find some of the jewels in the mainline hymnals. But this one is called When We Are Tested and Wrestle Alone. This one particularly stood out to me because we're getting ready, I assume, that you're getting ready for Lent, even though it's a couple months away still. We being thoughtful, and so I was thinking about Lent, and this is a wonderful beginning of Lent text that would fit really well with the scriptures. So I'll just read it to you. Although I'll share it as well on my screen, just so that you can read along if you'd like. So I'm pulling it from hymnary.org. And this was written in 96. When we are tested and wrestle alone, famished for bread when the world offers stone, nourish us, God, by your word and your way, food that sustains us by night and by day. When in the desert we cry for relief, pleading for paths marked by certain belief, lift us to love you beyond sign and test, trusting your presence, our only true rest. When we are tempted to barter our souls, trading the truth for the power to control, teach us to worship and praise only you, seeking your will in the work that we do. When we have struggled and searched through the night, sorting and sifting the wrong from the right, Savior, surround us with circles of care, angels of healing, of hope, and of prayer. Love it. When we are tempted to barter our souls, I'd love to see a whole hymn just based off of that line. It's such a great line. It's too bad that it's in stanza 3. I feel like if that were the first line, it would be picked up more, because I don't know, something about it. When we are tempted to barter our souls, just it speaks well. It's interesting. Gosh. Trading the truth for the power to control. My goodness, she was so prophetic. That's just going to preach for a very, very long time. Well, so thank you, Ruth Duck. Thank you for everything that you were, everything that you did. You will continue to preach to us. You will continue to speak God's truth to congregations around the world. And so we're grateful. So we'll end with a new recording. Mark Miller just came out with a CD called Revolution of the Heart. And one of the texts that he set for that recording. It was Sacred the Body. Sacred the Body is one of Ruth's better known texts. In fact, I wonder how many. You know what? Let me share my screen again, because I'll show you something that I do quite a bit just out of curiosity. Right? I'll search on hymnary. I'll search for Sacred the Body, and you can find out, how many hymnals is it in. And in the database, it's only in 5 hymnals, which for me is surprising a little bit. It's just such a good text, as you'll hear in a minute. So sometimes I like to find those little things, and then encourage new hymnal committees or people that I know that are working on new collections. Say, like, hey, this hymn is underrepresented and it needs to be in more people's pews and voices. It is in Glory to God and the Community of Christ hymnal, which are 2 newer ones, and a couple of supplements. But yeah, Sacred the Body, God has created. So here is Mark Miller's recording of it. And another reason I wanted to share this one is that one of the main singers is Felicia Patton, who was a student of Ruth's and a good friend as well. So here we go, and we'll end Coffee and Hymns with this recording. So thanks for joining me this morning.
Sacred the body God has created, temple of spirit that dwells deep inside. Cherish each person, nurture creation, treat flesh as holy that love may abide. Bodies are varied, made in all sizes, pale full of color, both fragile and strong. Holy the difference, gift of the Maker, so let us honor each story and song. Love respects persons, bodies, and boundaries. Love does not batter, neglect, or abuse. Love touches gently, never coercing. Love leaves the other with power to choose. Holy of holies, God ever loving, make us your temples and dwell all we do. May we be careful, tender and caring, so may our bodies give honor to you.
Hi, excuse me. Beautiful dog.